Tennessee Titans fans, another week, another game on tap. The Tennessee Titans on the road against Detroit, 1-5, and this may be the best team we've played so far. So the question today is not just, will any of the experts pick the Titans to win, because that's clearly a no. The question is, which score is going to be the most lopsided? Which score prediction is going to be the most lopsided? I'm going to say, how much did the Titans lose to the Bills last week? 24? I'm going to say somebody has the Titans losing by 24 points on these final score predictions. Here's the game preview.
History says the Tennessee Titans are now playing playoff football, basically. Can't afford to go 1-6 and pull any miracles. Kind of feels like they need one of those this week, since they are in Detroit to take on the Lions on a 4-game win streak and back in first in the NFC North.
From 44, for the lead, Bates.
You'll talk about two teams on opposite ends of the spectrum. One team is literally just the city's excited. Everybody's pumped. Great roster. And then on the other side, you've got a 1-5 team getting rid of people via trade so that they can try to get here in the future. But you know what the Detroit Lions are? The Detroit Lions are hope for everybody else. Because if the Detroit Lions can get to the point they're at now, anybody can get there. Because the Detroit Lions had some bad years. They had some bad years. But look at them now. The Detroit Lions are hope for everybody.
Has delivered! Detroit is on top with 15 seconds left.
Detroit looking like kings of the jungle again. Offense goes for 31 against the vaunted Minnesota defense. They are the second highest scoring team in the league.
And it's a run for Gibbs against the pressure, and he bangs it in for a touchdown. His second of the day.
That offense against a Tennessee defense that hasn't been terrible in 2024, but they gave up 34 points to Buffalo last week. Their defense, tired of being on the field so much, gave up over 300 yards passing and a 116.1 rate to Josh Allen, 2 touchdowns, no picks, a rating allowed over 116.
Allen looking for Cooper.
Titans have held quarterbacks to a sub-90 rate for 2024 at least, and have held wide receivers under 90 as well, but they gave up a lot of yards to wideouts last week. Keon Coleman, Amari Cooper, Khalil Shakir, 65 plus each.
Well, our top two corners were out, L'Jarius Sneed and Cheeto Awuzie, and they're going to be out again on Sunday. Cheeto for sure is going to be out because he's on injured reserve, and Sneed, he hasn't practiced this week, so I'd be shocked if he played as well, so...
The Lions counter with Amon-Ra St. Brown, strutting off 112.
See him in our nightmares. That's another John Robinson doozy from the past. That's the former Titans GM, who literally, the Titans were on the clock. Amon-Ra St. Brown was there for the taking. And instead of that, we traded up to take Dez Fitzpatrick.
Yard touchdown game.
Launching Goff over the top for St. Brown, and Detroit, after trailing by 10, has taken the lead.
Khalif Raymond, 39 yards. Tim Patrick, 25.
He's Khalif Raymond, former Titan, who's done pretty well in Detroit. It's just like, twist the knife, twist the knife, twist the knife.
A big 22-yarder, and Tennessee has to play the running back out of the backfield well. Goff used Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery to the tune of 83 combined receiving yards.
Montgomery, what a catch! Oh boy, a whirling dervish one-handed grab.
Now, Goff was sacked 4 times by Minnesota's defense, pressured over 50% of the time, but he was blitzed over 50% of the time too.
Extra man coming from Minnesota, and this time they get to Goff.
Goff still delivered versus 5+. Tennessee's pass rush he goes up against this week hasn't blitzed much in 2024, just 1 sack.
Which is a surprise, by the way. I thought the Titans would be blitzing a lot. Denard Wilson, pretty aggressive defensive coordinator. I thought the Titans would be blitzing like crazy, but they sure have not.
Last week, only have 10 for the year. Only 3 teams have fewer.
Allen looking for Kincaid.
He's got it along the sideline.
Montgomery and Gibbs on the ground. Montgomery comes in off an uncharacteristic dud running it, just 3.4 a carry versus the Vikings. Gibbs went for 116 yards, 7.7 per run, 2 touchdowns, broke a 45-yarder.
Off the right, here's Gibbs. Good run, best run, good move. There he goes, needs a block. He's in. Jahmyr Gibbs answers back for Detroit.
Those two do face a tough run defense. Tennessee has held running backs to 3.5 a carry thus far. Third best held James Cook to 2.7 a try.
Back to Cook, and he is taken for a loss by James Lynch.
Titans defense typically having to swim upstream, and that's because the offense Detroit's defense faces, not a high-flying act. Passing attack week 7, 215 yards, just 5.4 per attempt, touchdown, 1 pick, sub 80 rating.
And that's the better option at quarterback for us. And it's going to be Rudolph again on Sunday. I mean, those stats aren't even indicative. I mean, Mason Rudolph did not play well against Buffalo. He should have had 3 interceptions, fumbled the ball twice. I mean, missing receivers. We just don't have, at the end, we don't have a starting quarterback on the roster. We don't have a starting level quarterback on the roster. And until that changes, it really doesn't matter what else you change. That's got to be fixed, first and foremost.
Intercepted! Damar Hamlin!
Mason Rudolph's turn at quarterback, not much different than what they've been getting all year. Team is last in passer rating this season. Took 3 sacks last week, 19 for the season. Their quarterbacks have faced the second highest pressure rate in the league.
Rudolph, pressure's coming. Rudolph doesn't see it. He lost the football. It's still loose.
That particular play, he held onto the ball too long, in my opinion.
And the Titans fall on it.
Detroit's pass rush, they get next. A nice post-Aiden showing wrapped up Sam Darnold 4 times.
And it is Pascal to bring him down.
Lions secondary comes in a little rattled, gave up a plus 100 rate to Donald on 22 of 27 passing, 250 plus yards, also kept him to 1 touchdown pass and picked him off. They're holding quarterbacks to a 79 rating, 6th lowest.
And what a play by Brian Branch.
Titans pass catchers they'll do battle with. Calvin Ridley 42 yards a week ago, Tyler Boyd 43.
Over the middle, and he's got another first down. Tyler Boyd brings it in.
Tony Pollard just 4 yards on 6 targets and just 61 rushing yards on 3.8 a carry, so he comes in chilled.
4th down and 2, they're going for it. Pollard is stuffed!
The decision that lost the game. Why we went for it on that 4th and 2 from our own 40, I'll never know. Why we ran it up the middle, I'll never know. Just not good by Brian Callahan. Tony Pollard's actually been one of the bright spots for Tennessee so far this year, but there's not many bright spots to be found offensively, so.
Lions did not handle Aaron Jones well, though they had been tough on backs prior, but gave up 93 yards to him, 6.6 a carry.
Off he goes, Aaron Jones, and what a lightning strike for the Vikings.
Lions make it to 6-1. Postseason is pretty safe. 88.5% of teams since 1990 with that mark made it in. If they drop to 5-2, 74.9%.
Y'all need some inspiration. I'm gonna show y'all.
Titans fall to 1-6. They'd have to be the first team ever to make it after that kind of start. If they get to 2-5, at least have a chance. 6.5%. Titans Lions, I mean, they have history. It's like Baltimore Pittsburgh or Dallas Philadelphia. Titans/Oilers up 10-3 over Detroit. 2012 Forgotten Classic, 80 plus points. This is Stafford to Megatron days, but Matthew got hurt. Sean Hill leads them back to tie it in the 4th, sends it to
That was a great game that he's talking about right there.
overtime. Jake Locker, Rob Baronis, they're waiting 44-41.
Those were some dark times. Those were some dark times in Tennessee Titans history. And we've arrived back there, I'm afraid. We have arrived back to the darkness. We have arrived back to the dark ages.
One Tennessee win.
They decide to go to Baronis. Snap, set, kick.
R.I.P. Rob.
Good. What a game. For the first time this year, we can say the Titans get it done.
All right, here we go. Let me make this where you guys can see it. Let's see what the most lopsided. I knew that everybody's picking the Lions, obviously. Anybody with a brain that even halfway works is picking the Lions. But let's see the most lopsided score. We've got Jeremiah 24-14 Lions. We've got Wolf 33-15 Lions. That's the one to beat. There you go, 34-10. Adam Rank has the Lions winning 34-10, so 24. That's what I said, 27-13 Lions for Grant, 24-10 Lions. Brooks has that. MJD has the Lions 28-10. Gordon has the Lions 45-15. A 30-point prediction right there by Gordon. That's the one to beat. 28-14 for Shook, 27-19 for Edom, and 28-15 for Petra. You don't see many where they predict a team to lose by 30 points on these previews, but what are you going to do? That's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we're at with this godforsaken season. And now I do believe this is the best team that we've played on the road, too, with Mason Rudolph. And like I said, Mason Rudolph is the better option at quarterback for us right now. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be horrible.